Welcome to Community Connections with Children's Services Council. We are doing a show after the theme
we're
song.
having a sidebar conversation over here.
Welcome to the 1 hour commercial-free, live, no takes, no outtakes, plenty of outtakes, I should say, show that's all about connecting you, the listener, to what resources are available to all St. Lucie County children and families. And if you're wondering, oh, I'm sorry, did I say I was the host, Sean Boyle?
I don't know. Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Ashley Moss.
You're the one that was interrupting the opening.
I was not.
Children's Services Council, if you're wondering why, oh, why did they stop that great song and give the radio station to these folks, the Children's Services Council, we are an independent special district, and we have 5 focuses. And I'm going to do them out of order, so make sure that I get them all in.
Okay.
Making sure every baby's a healthy baby, keeping kids off the streets, keeping them in school, off drugs and alcohol, and preventing and stopping child abuse before it happens.
You saved the best for last.
I saved the best for last. We do those 5 things for St. Lucie County. Last year, our programs, we fund children's programs on those 5 focus areas. They reached over 34,000 kids. And to put that in perspective, there's about 62,000 kids all in St. Lucie County. So we're positively impacting over half of the kids. And we utilize this show to connect you, the listener, and the viewer to those resources so that you can get help for your family, your neighbor's family, your grandkids, your congregation member, your coworkers, anybody and everybody that you know. We save child abuse for last.
Because?
Preventing child abuse, because April is Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month. If you've been on Midway Road and you happen to drive by and you saw those pretty white flags that are flowing in the air, those white flags represent every child that was lost in the state of Florida because of child abuse and neglect. I believe there's over 100 flags flying.
109, I think.
Child abuse is preventable. We fund programs that work with parents. We were just talking before we went on the air, many years ago, I used to do child abuse investigations. And a lot of abuse and neglect occurs around normal parenting skills or attributes. Toilet training, potty training, babies crying, won't go to sleep, feeding. And a lot of times there's substance abuse or mental health, but in those cases where it's a parent gets frustrated and they don't know what to do, or they get frustrated and they do what their parent did to them. And a lot of times, we've talked a lot about on this show and in other conversations. I remember investigating a case where a child was beaten with an extension cord. Talked to the father. That's what his parents did to him. He didn't know any better. But we have help out there. We have help with the Castle, Hibiscus Children's Center, New Horizons, Catholic Charities. There is parenting support out there because child abuse and neglect is 100% preventable if we just utilize the resources that are available in the community. That's my public service announcement for the day.
I like it.
But again, it is Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month. Get connected with what resources are available in the community so that we can stop tragedies from happening.
I have to, what you talked about, the flags that are on Midway Road, and it reminded me of a comment that we got on Facebook. We posted a picture of the flags when you participated in the dedication at the end of March, and there was a comment that we got from a grandmother who drives her granddaughter to school, and one day on the way to school, her granddaughter asked her what the flags meant, and when she explained to her what it was, the little girl got very sad, and now every day when they drive by the flags, she won't turn her head that way. She turns away from the flags because she knows what they mean. And I think for a young girl to be able to capture the sort of tragedy behind what those flags mean, we really all do need to be aware of what resources are available and make sure that we're talking about them, because you never know who might be going through a situation that they're not sharing with you, that they're not reaching out to ask for help because they're embarrassed or worried about stigmas or things like that. So it's important for everyone to know what resources are available so that we can share that information with our friends and coworkers and neighbors.
And we always try to keep the show light and kind of fluffy, and I know we're kind of hitting it hard and serious at the beginning here, but I hear all the time, I know these young parents or this young mom and she doesn't know how to parent her child. There is help out there. There's the Nurse Home Visitation Program, the BRAIN program, and there's something called Healthy Families that will stay with that family when that child is 0 to 5 years of age, to provide support, be an advocate for that parent. So if you know of families that are out there, get connected with what resources exist. And many of them are through the Children's Services Council. So we're not going to make you listen to the whole show for the hour long to get to that specific resource, but can you tell them how they can find out all about all the programs?
I can. We have a great family guide to programs that we have worked really hard to make sort of user-friendly. for families in the community. And we have a listing in this directory, so to speak, of each and every one of the programs that we fund. And it provides a brief description as well as a contact phone number, so that you can kind of identify what it is that each program does and how to reach out to them if you or someone that you know needs that service. I'm gone now. You can't see my face anymore. But I think it's important to note, too, about our programs that we're not saying that if you reach out for services like this that you're a bad parent, or that you don't know what you're doing. But like Sean said, you're going to resort to the way that you were parented or the skills that you know. And often that's not always the best way. So these services are there to provide help, not to necessarily come into your home and tell you that you're doing things wrong, just to show you ways that might be better.
And if I can
That
just
is all.
brag real quick, and then I will stop talking about child abuse prevention, but our programs that we fund, they reached about 2,000 children last year, and we ask our programs to measure their success. And one of the measures is that family involved with the Department of Children and Families? In other words, have they abused their child 1 year after the services have ended? And in years past, we usually get a 97 to 98, maybe 99% success rate. Last year, we had a 100% success rate with those programs. So those are families that did not, they were probably maybe on the edge or maybe needed the skills to make sure that they didn't, do something tragic. 100% success rate. And not only 100% success rate, but we've broken the cycle of abuse. Mm-hmm. How do you break a cycle of abuse? Because child abuse and neglect is cyclical. Usually the grandparent abused the parent, who then abuses their child, and it keeps going back and back generations. If you break it with one parent, one cycle, you've broken that cycle of abuse for that whole entire family. So kudos to our programs, the Castle, Hibiscus, Catholic Charities. I know I'm gonna miss some. New Horizons, all the programs that work particularly on preventing child abuse, particularly in the month of April. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're talking, and the caffeine hasn't quite kicked in. We're commenting on how tired we look in the photo that we posted on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, thanks for that.
But I neglected to say how the Children's Services Council got started and why this year, 2014, is very important, not only for us as an entity, but us as a community. In 1990, the voters came together and they voted to establish a Children's Services Council. And again, we are a special district that focuses and funds children's programs that reach over 30,000 kids. Overwhelming support in 1990, and at that time we became one of, I believe, 6 in the state of Florida. Now there's 8 in the state of Florida Children's Services Councils. Children's Services Councils only exist in the state of Florida. So if you think about it, we have one of 8 Children's Services Councils in the entire nation.
It's very special.
A dedicated resource for children. Shows again the commitment of St. Lucie County towards its kids. In 2014, November 4th, 2014, the Children's Services Council is back on the ballot. It's part of the accountability structure of the Children's Services Council to again have the voters weigh in on the effectiveness, if you will, of the Children's Services Council. So November 4th, 2014, when we vote for governor and federal races and legalization of medical marijuana and all those different topics, at the very end of the ballot, there will be a question to reauthorize the Children's Services Council. If the vote is yes, those programs that we fund, the resources that we provide to the community to allow or to enable programs to exist and continue to serve children will continue. If the vote is no, those resources will go away. And that will affect many of our programs, either by them not being able to function at all or limiting their capacity to reach the children that we serve. So we're not allowed to say which way to vote, but we are allowed to articulate that we are on the ballot and these are the options that will happen one way or the other. So again, November 4th, 2014, the reauthorization of the Children's Services Council will be on the ballot.
And I would just encourage people, too, if you're looking for more information, maybe this is the first time you've tuned into the show, maybe this is the first time that you've heard of the Children's Services Council, though I'm inclined to think that that's not the case. Last week, we actually published our annual report to the community, and that is a detailed look at the dollars that we spend, where they come from, where they go to, and what kind of impact we're having on the community. It's full of statistics, and it is available now on our website at cscsfc.org. flc.org. There was a printed copy that was in the paper last Wednesday, but there is a detailed version that is on our website that you can download. Not only read about the statistics and the impacts that we're having, but read about success stories from families who have gone through the programs and actually seen that impact happen in their family. So it's a really great resource just to kind of get more information and see what has happened over the last 23 years.
And I think that's why I like this year's report, because, we can throw out tons of statistics, and I'm normally...
You know them all.
I know them all, and I'm normally not a very talkative person, but I'll talk forever about Children's Services Council because I believe that passionately about it. But, we mentioned 34,000 kids. Well, each one of those kids, each one of those families has a story. And in our annual report, we share just 5 of those stories. But, a great way to pass along information is to share stories. So we encourage you to take a look and just, the stories are really quick, like 1 page a piece, right? Download the report, take a look at it. If you're not a reader, we also have a video on our website that highlights 3 success stories, 4 minutes out of the time. While you're listening to the show, maybe turn us down a little bit. We'll still be talking when you come back, and play the video. But again, get connected with what resources are available. We've talked a lot at the opening.
We have. You had a soapbox.
I had a soapbox.
There's lots of stuff.
Do you want to kind of recap where we've been and what's going on?
Oh, man. We've been all over the place, I feel like. I keep joking with people that I run into in the community that April is like the month of the year that the weather starts to get really nice again, and everyone wants to do events outside.
Let's define that, though. Really nice? I mean, it was 90 degrees.
It was really hot on Saturday.
I would say if it goes above 85, there's going to be an event.
But... we have been to a lot of community events, and there are a lot of community events still coming up. So I would encourage you to check out our community calendar that's on the website to see where we're going to be or what is happening. But this past weekend, we were at the Family Reading Festival, which we had Debbie Remington on as a guest a few weeks ago to talk about that. It's put on by the St. Lucie County Reading Council, and it was packed.
I'm still sore from carrying all those boxes.
I have to say, I had to leave early from, I had an engagement to go to, but I got a text from you about 45 minutes in that said we had already gone through 200 bags, and I was shocked.
Yeah, it was a great event. Again, it was at the where the Met Stadium is, Tradition Stadium, where the Mets play, and what a great partnership the Reading Fest with not only the Children's Services Council but also the Mets they gave away books to everybody. They had a big book exchange.
There were people lined up when I was leaving.
Not a big book exchange, a ginormous book exchange. But Dee from our office and my son helped out, and trust me, he worked hard for 4 straight hours. We gave away over 800 bags.
That's awesome.
So it was a great event.
And that night, too,
fireworks.
Was the YMCA fireworks event, or the YMCA family night that had fireworks at the end that I actually did get a chance to go to, and we had a great time. It was packed. I think there were like 3,400 people in attendance that night, and the fireworks display was awesome.
I am getting the cue from our third member of the team, Sharon, that I have to do station ID. So I want to remind everybody you're listening or watching Community Connections with Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County on legendary 1400 AM WIRA, or you're watching us on a numerous channels, which I will give out right now. As Sharon looks at me like, don't mess this up. Our partner, the St. Lucie County School Board channel, WLX-TV, broadcasts this live radio show on Comcast, Channel 13 in Fort Pierce, Channel 19 in Port St. Lucie, Hometown Cable, Channel 19, AT&T Universe, Channel 99, and Lightstream Cable at St. James, Channel 65. And yes, I did read all those.
You did good.
I don't have them memorized yet, but I'm getting there.
You're fine. You're fine.
So we have so much more to talk about, but we also have a guest that's waiting very patiently. And they have some great T-shirts on that I think they're going to explain. So I say we jump to the guest, and we'll catch this stuff at the end.
Sounds good. We are excited to have with us today 2 staff members from the Daniel M. Center for Behavioral Change. Linda, who I think has been on the show with us a few times before, but this is Susan's debut.
Yes.
We're very
inaugural.
We're very excited about it. So before we get on to, I know, the shirts and the fun stuff that we want to talk about, share with everyone, I guess, Linda, this will be your job. Share with everyone a little bit about the Daniel M. Center and how you guys got started and what you actually do. And I'm going to move this.
Okay.
For you.
Because I'm a soft talker.
Let me adjust the level. Okay.
Well, Daniel M. started in 1997, and it was out of a cry for help from parents that were coming before the Department of Children and Families, so stressed and completely worn out from trying to take care of children that had emotional behavioral disorder, and they didn't know what to do with them. And I was a parent advocate that would sit at the table for family service planning team and other kinds of structured help that the Department of Children and Families had to give support to the parents and to try to figure out ways to make a difference for those parents. So after sitting on that panel, and I also sat on a state advisory board panel for children with severe emotional disturbance in the state of Florida, and sitting on all of those panels helped me understand the stress that these parents were under. I even sat at a table one day and said, and heard a parent say, if you don't come to my house and pick up my child, they won't be living.
Yeah.
So that's how stressed they were. And so from that point of view, I said, I got to do something. I can't continue to sit here. It's been 4 years since I've been listening to this. So in 97, I started the Daniel M. Foundation in order to provide support, services, education, and some really important relief for those parents to give them hope that their kids would make it as well as them. And so it took me 3 years to get it funded. But finally, the Department of Children and Families picked it up, and we opened up our first respite program and in 99. So with that, we started doing respite on the weekends. And then people came to me and said, you know, children are getting kicked out of after-school programs because their behaviors are so advanced. So we opened an after-school program. And then I had people coming to me and saying, you know, there is no summer camp for our children. We get kicked out of every summer camp, and we work, and we need help. So I started a summer camp. And we've been successfully providing those services for, 15 years.
Wow.
And we've served many children. Over 200 and some thousand hours of respite and care we've given to those families since then, which is help that they would never get. And thanks to your support and knowing what we were doing, when we came to you 15 years ago, you said, great, wonderful, we'll do it. And we got immediate support from Children's Services Council, as well as the Department of Children and Families and United Way, and it just kind of snowballed to the point that we were able to really provide great services. We're a small organization, and but our focus is making a difference for the children that we do serve. We have an 8-to-1 ratio, and most places have a 20-to-1 ratio. But you can't make a difference for these children that have such extensive behaviors if you put them in a large group, because they have to learn how to socially interact, to have acceptance into the community, and they feel beaten up by the time we get them. We've had kids that have been kicked out of 3, 4, 5, 6 programs or pre-Ks. And it's very sad that these children grow up thinking,
Nobody wants me.
nobody wants me. And when we first get them, they do a lot of adverse behaviors to try to get kicked out because that's what they're used to. And we go, no, we've never kicked a child out of our program. Never. For whatever behavior.
You know, it's funny, you were talking in 1997 and 1999, and I was thinking, man, has it been that long? I remember I used to teach grant writing classes, and you and I would have conversations.
Yeah, it was that long
That was
ago.
a long time ago.
You've been around a long time.
Yeah. Now that I'm feeling really old.
We've been around.
Yeah. Can you explain to the listeners, when you talk about, you know, the children that you serve and the behavior issues, what does that mean, or how do they qualify to get into your program?
Well, most of our children, we serve 3 to 5-year-olds in our respite program. Those children don't have to have a diagnosis because we're hoping that we can help some of those children before they get labeled. And so we provide respite for those families, and those children usually don't have a diagnosis. We've had some, believe me, we've had some that are even on medication at 3, which is extremely sad because years of that kind of medication can be somewhat dangerous. And those medications are for adults, they're not for children. So we do provide the 3 to 5 without a diagnosis because that's really hard for people to do. And it's hard for the parents to want to admit that their children have an issue at that young age. They think, oh, well, he's a boy, he'll grow out of it, or, it's just one thing or another. So we also provide from 5 up to 12 care for children that have a diagnosis. They have to have a diagnosis because it just is important for us to work on those particular behaviors, and we serve children with ADHD, we serve children with autism, we service children with bipolar disorder, and we've had some schizoaffective disorder kids in our program, and depression, anxiety. I can name a bunch of them that children really develop and manifest these certain behaviors, and people think a child gets like that, and oh yes, they do. There was a study that was done that 5 to 8-year-olds were committing suicide. They run their bikes out in front of cars. They do some horrific things, and it's a real community problem.
And you said, I have written down on here that we're going to talk about child abuse prevention and awareness, and during that whole discussion, we neglected to bring up the services that you provide, because providing respite care
Keeps that down.
keeps that down and gives the parents a break so that they can be recharged when they come back. And you talked about the 12 and up children that you serve, and you mentioned that many of them have maybe been in the traditional school system and maybe failed, or not failed, but maybe didn't go as well as the parents had hoped, or they've been bounced around. And I know, and I was texting because I was trying to get them to call in. I know of a parent that had bounced around to a couple of schools and some private schools, and they hadn't really found a home for their child to prosper. And I had lunch with them the other day, and they sang the praises of your organization because their child is just doing phenomenally well, and finally they feel like they found a home for their child, and their child likes going to the program.
Wonderful.
Which is important.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't want you guys to think I was checking my Facebook status. I was trying to get them to call in.
Well, sometimes in the beginning, children will say, I don't want to go back there, I don't like it, but we're very structured, and because they need to understand that structure, but we're very positive in our reaction and the way we work with the children. We ignore a lot of behaviors that are repetitive and learned because of reactions to that behavior. And it's either attention seeking or it's escape. They're trying to get out of something, or they're trying to get some attention.
Yeah.
And so because we're so trained, understand all of that, and so we work with those children on a daily basis and give them the social skills. And a lot of parents have said to me, what do you do with my child? Because they came today for respite and they're doing great.
It's really, I have to say, from the times that I've been to visit, it's a really interesting process to see, because one day that I was there, the kids were in a transition. They were moving from a classroom setting to go outside, and the transition, in a normal classroom might take 2 or 3 minutes, but it's a long process for you guys because there has to be a structure that they know exactly what's going to happen and what the consequences are if they don't follow those rules. And it was very interesting to watch, and to watch the kids who instinctively knew what was going to happen and what they could and could not get away with, and the ones who tried to kind of push the lines and see what they could do. But it's really interesting to see. I think, we can talk a lot about it, but it's hard to kind of imagine how it's all working. But having the opportunity to have been there several times, it really is a very cool place.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's small.
Yes.
We can't serve a lot of children at one time. But, as everything, people come and go, So our respite program is the most fluid. But I have to tell you, we've got some children that have been with us 10 years or more.
Wow.
And once they get this service, they don't want to give it up because it helps them function in the community. They're not getting called at work. They're not losing their jobs. They have peace in the family. They don't have to worry about homework. That's a very big issue after school and at night when kids are trying to get their homework done. And we do all of that with the children. They get their homework done. We have a certified teacher that works with them every day for an hour for the children that need it. And she or he, we've had both, gives them the opportunity to remediate and grow. And the program that we use, we monitor those behaviors every 15 minutes. And so they earn free time. They earn things that they want to do in the program. And we've got a ping pong thing going on now. And they line up to play ping pong and sit there and wait.
You might need to get
So
out.
we're thinking about having
love
some
ping pong.
we're thinking about having some ping pong tournaments.
Oh, see,
And-
we might be in for that.
Yeah. We got a ringer in our
I'm not
office.
very good, but
They are. They are quick and they are really good. I'm surprised at how well they've picked that up. But they love it. They really love, being interactive, getting something positive, feeling like they can do something with themselves. And it's a good atmosphere. It's a very good atmosphere.
So let me ask, because, shame on us for letting you go this long without giving out your phone number. But if there's a parent or grandparent listening, kind of what should they look for, or what would you recommend, if they have a child and they're like, I don't know if, this place is a good place for them or not. I mean, is there a number that they can call, and what should, if the child's acting up, what should be the criteria for them to give you a call?
They have to be between 3 and 12. 5 and 12 is, of course, a diagnosis. Usually when a child has a diagnosis and the parents really don't know how to handle that, they have very acting out kids at home. And so you can call 772-466-0051 and speak to Melissa. And she is a great advocate and has 4 children herself, so she knows what it's like to have children, good or bad. Not bad, but good or, having issues. And so, we try to support the parents. We have them come in, we sit down, we talk to them. We have a lengthy, I have to say, form that they have to fill out because we ask a lot of information about the behaviors and what they see at home so that we can try to evaluate the child and give them the help that they need. And then, we have parenting classes that happen occasionally, not as much as we'd like it to, because our parents are so overwhelmed that it's hard to get them to parenting classes. But they interact with our techs and behavior analysts on a daily basis. And so they have learned over the years, and even not over the years, but as long as they've been coming, that we will help them through whatever difficulty they're having, and that they get very good advice.
That's great. Let me pause real quick for station ID. Got the official signal. You're listening to and or watching Community Connections with Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County on legendary 1400 AM WIRA, or you're watching us on WLX, the St. Lucie County School Board channel, Comcast Channel 13 in Fort Pierce, Channel 19 in Port St. Lucie, Hometown Cable Channel 19, ATTU Verse Channel 99, and Lightstream Cable at St. James Channel 65.
You're getting better.
I nailed it, didn't I?
You're
I nailed
getting
it.
better.
All right.
I like it.
And we are talking with Daniel M. Center for Behavioral Change. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
I'm used to the other name.
Daniel
I'm old
Foundation.
school that
You're
way.
old school.
And we're talking to Linda and Sue, who hasn't really said anything yet,
You're
but
being so quiet.
I
It's not like
anticipate
you.
I anticipate she's going to be saying something very soon.
Well, I do. Before I know you've got a big event that we want to talk about, but before we do that, if I know you gave the phone number out once, but can you talk a little bit in more detail about the summer program? Because I know
Summer's coming.
So summer is getting closer than we think.
Yeah.
So I know there might be some parents who are looking for a place for the summer, or maybe have concerns that their child's not going to be able to stay at their after-school program for the summer.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what you guys do during the summer?
Oh, yeah. We have a wonderful 6-week program. We do break a little bit because the staff needs a break.
I
You
can
know,
imagine.
we're there 5 days a week, 10 hours a day. So it's a 50-hour week for staff. And when you have 30 behaviorally disordered children in one group, it's challenging. It's not like putting a bunch of kids in a group and, we just have to work very specifically and individually with those children, so our numbers aren't as big as other people's. But they have a fun summer. We do a lot of picnicking. We do a lot of education trips. We do beach trips. We just try to keep them busy. This year, we're working on a garden, so they'll be helping in the garden. I'm also doing a mosaic on the side of the building, and we'll be working on that.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it will be. It's a good educational thing for them. It'll help them learn.
And people can drive by because you're on the corner of, was it?
Sunrise and 6th.
Yeah, so they can see the mural as it goes up.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's designed. I just have to get myself out there. And I'm waiting for the summer. Even though it's going to be difficult and hot, I still think it's going to be fun for the kids. And I want to get them involved in learning how to make mosaic, and it's really great. I think it'll be great fun. And then we'll be working on the garden. We've got a process of it right now going. Hilton Garden Inn has done a grant to try to help us fund it.
Nice.
We have these little green ribbons for sale because May is Children's Mental Health, or it's Mental Health Month, but there's a week of from the 12th to the 18th that is Children's Mental Health Week. And we try to focus, it's our time of the year to focus on that. Mm-hmm. We have these green ribbons for sale for $2. And what we do, we have a big fence around our property. And what we do to try to bring awareness and have these green ribbons flapping in the breeze on the fence, people are buying them, putting their children's names on them that have a mental health issue in their family, anybody in their family, in memory of certain family members. And it turned out really great last year. We had a good portion of that fence filled, and it was our first year to do this. And so we were really happy to have that, and it brings awareness for the month of May. We also try to, get parents that are having issues, bring their children as much as they possibly can, so that we can help them and the rate of child abuse. And our children are abused a lot, but more emotionally, not so much physically, but emotionally, because people take their behaviors personally, and it's not personal. It's about their mental health issue.
And the number for any of our listeners, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles who maybe feel like they can benefit from the services that you provide, because there is help out there. I mean, that's what the whole point of the show is, but the whole point of bringing you on here is to let them know that there is help. So how can they get a hold of you? 772-466-0051. Awesome. Now, Susan, I apologize. I call you Sue, but it's Susan.
Sue's my New York name. It's cool.
Yeah. I was going to call you S-Unit because I think your sister goes by E-Unit.
Yep, I'd like to do a little shout-out, an AM radio shout-out to E-Unit, if you're listening.
She better be listening.
So explain what Talk Derby to me is. Is it a cool T-shirt brand that you guys are releasing?
It's a cool T-shirt, and it's only the event of the season, people. You got to get there. May 3rd, Derby Day. Anybody a horse race person in here?
No, but I like hats. Does that count?
Hats. You'd be perfect, because bring your best derby hat May 3rd from 3 to 7, and we're going to do lots of fun. There's going to be great food.
I like food.
Bourbon. There'll be bourbon with a little bit of mint. and there'll be
Festive
some
drinks.
great, great festive drinks, great festive hats. There's going to be some wagering, fundraising on your horses. Great raffles. We have a great garden bench, mosaic type. If you know Anita Prentice,
Oh, really?
her work is around Fort Pierce. We're putting that up for a raffle, $5 a ticket. You can also win a wonderfully painted original oil painting by Linda Rellis. And just come on out, support a great cause, and talk derby to me.
How did I know that was coming? All right, so May 3rd, 3
That
to
was
7.
going through my head when you said that.
Of course it was. May 3rd, 3 to 7. Where are we going?
We are going to the Riverwalk Center, that is 600 North Indian River Drive. And I forgot to mention the most important part, a live viewing of the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes, on a huge screen.
Real life horse racing.
And the Riverwalk Center overlooks the Indian River.
Is beautiful.
Indian River Drive, Indian River. But it's a really, really, really nice place. So we hope that lots of people are going to come out, support our cause, and just have a good time.
Is it free to get in?
Oh, no.
What are the ticket prices to get in? That's what I should have said.
Yes, per ticket, it's $40, $75 per couple, and $300 for a table of 8. And that table of 8 reserved for you if you want to purchase one of those. Gives you a couple bucks off the ticket price. So, yeah, it's fun.
Excellent.
And
So
wear
really-
your best derby hat because there is the contest. Win, place, show.
I like it.
I don't have a derby hat. I have like Indiana University baseball
I don't think
cap.
that's
Can I wear
the-
Put
that?
some feathers in it.
Oh, there we go.
And a toy horse.
I don't
There you
think
go.
that's the same.
No.
Not quite the same.
But this is a great deal because if anybody's interested in horse racing, you know, how much would a plane ticket to Kentucky be and hotel and reservations? You can have the full experience here in our own backyard
I like
Exactly.
Yeah, and
on the water. So it's even better.
One ticket to go to the Derby in
Yeah.
Kentucky.
You'd never
is
get that.
$400.
Wow.
This is such a deal.
So we're doing 40. Just
such a deal.
And caller number 10 gets 2 tickets.
10.
10. How about the first caller? Let's be realistic.
You've got big goals here, Susan. Big
All right.
goals.
So if you're if you're interested in attending the event, and I'm sorry, I wrote on the other side, May 3rd, from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Riverwalk Center, which is right off Indian River Drive, has an $80 value or $75 value because it's 2.
Yes.
And there's going to be obviously the Kentucky Derby. There's going to be lots of fun, hats, drawings, raffles, fundraising. You can place bets on the horses.
yes.
And it's all for a charity fundraising, raising money for the Daniel M. Center for Behavioral
That's right.
Change, so that these resources that we talked about earlier can be available to all families.
That's correct.
So we will give these tickets away to the first caller at 464-1400. Again, 464-1400. Or can we give your cell phone out and they can just text? I'm teasing you. We have a caller.
There you go.
Oh. It's a big day. Should feel lucky. Oh, wait. RL. I got it.
You got it?
Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hello,
Hi. Who are we talking to?
my name is Joe.
Joe, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Are you calling for the tickets?
Yes, I am.
Excellent.
But can you do me a favor and donate it to a charitable fund?
I can do that.
Because actually, I'm listening to Susan, who's on there, and we're going anyhow.
Oh, I see. You're just calling to offer your support.
But yes, I am.
I-
I would love.
I
if
like
I want
it.
a ticket. I would like you to donate to a charitable fund to whoever the 2 people who can need it.
Excellent.
We will do that. And we've got another call right in, so maybe this is it.
All right.
All right.
I appreciate that very much.
Thanks, Joe.
Yep.
Oh. Just kidding.
All right, caller who hung up right when I answered it. Call back at 464-1400.
You were just
I'm still learning the
yourself.
board. This isn't my day job here. So call back.
But you're so good at it.
And that was nice of Joe. Joe is escorting you to the Derby.
Yes. And he's going to be doing some heavy lifting. and some
Does-
hanging of things.
Does he know that?
He does now.
You are.
He does now. But again,
Good information to have.
we have two tickets available for May 3rd, 3 to 7 p.m. at Riverwalk Center. It's a fundraiser, Talk Derby to Me, all centered around the Kentucky Derby, but more importantly centered around having a good time and raising money and awareness and funds for the Daniel M. Center for Behavioral Change. May 3rd, $75 value that we're giving away here now. 464-1400.
Somebody's excited about it. I don't know.
I just wanted to say, too, that we're also going, for anybody that likes cigars, we have a cigar roller there.
Oh.
And he'll be rolling 75 cigars to give out to the gentlemen that come that will help with the theme. And they get a free
There's a lot of stuff going
cigar.
on.
Yeah,
It sounds like a good time.
it's going to be a great time. Jazz and blues.
Hello, caller, are you there?
Hey, Miss Ashley.
Am I not doing that right? That's right.
Are you there, caller?
I am.
Sean, you're breaking stuff. I can't hear anything.
Caller, are you there?
I am.
Hi, who are we speaking to?
It's Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you? Are you
Good.
interested in these tickets?
I am not.
You are not.
No, I just called to say hi and
What is
you guys, what a great show, and sorry I'm not there.
This is for our listeners and viewers. This is Wendy the intern. She has a real last name, but I call her Wendy the intern. And you have fulfilled your internship duties, but you're still connected because you're calling in, right?
That's right. I had to at least make sure you guys got one or two calls.
That's right. We appreciate that.
Thanks for that.
we appreciate that. I think. Are you going to come by and help us? Are you going to come by in the show next week?
I am. I am gonna volunteer whenever you guys need me.
And you've been listening to the whole show, right?
I have.
And you noticed that I got all the TV channels right?
I did. I was gonna post something on your Facebook telling you, yay!
Because
So I figured I'd call instead.
for those of you who don't know, which would be all the listeners and viewers, except for the guests, Wendy's the one who makes sure that I have all the TV channels,
Big enough to read.
and she scolds me when I don't get them right. So I got them all right just for you.
I want to give a big shout out to Miss Sharon. Hey, Sharon.
She's waving
waving.
at you.
All right, thanks, Wendy.
All right, have a great day, guys. And I say the same thing. Donate those tickets to somebody who needs them.
All right, great. Thank you.
Bye. There you go. See, are you breaking stuff again?
I put her on hold and I dropped her. You know, the generosity of our callers, everybody keeps passing the tickets on.
Well, yeah, but it sounds like these people are going to go, so that's good.
So here's what we're going to do, because we are a TV show, so I've
We
been
are.
told. And I got the TV sign to do the station ID. But if any of our listeners, and if you're a little bashful of calling in, because Ashley can be intimidating.
Sorry
Just
about
kidding.
that.
If you're a viewer and you're watching, if you go to our Facebook page, and we're encouraging you to go on Facebook, look up Children's Services Council, St. Lucie County, like our page, send us a message that said, "Talk Derby to me." We'll connect you with those tickets. It's a $75 value, unless somebody calls right now.
It's a lot of pressure.
464-1400.
I don't think I'm the one that's intimidating.
And and don't call in to pass them on to somebody else. Call them in for yourself. Be selfish at this moment, because trust me, by you taking these tickets, you're going to be raising awareness about the Daniel M. Center for Behavioral Change. You're going to be raising awareness about children's mental health needs, and more importantly, you're going to have a great time. And you're going to have hats, lots of hats apparently.
You need a hat.
And if you just have a baseball hat collection like I do, apparently you can stick feathers in it and you're good to go. Again, just give us a call at 464-1400. And while you think about calling, I'm going to do station ID, and I'm going to do it right just for Wendy. You're listening to Community Connections with Children's Services Council on legendary 1400 AM WIRA, or you're watching us live on WLX, the St. Louis County School Board channel for Comcast viewers, channel 13 in Fort Pierce, channel 19 in Port St. Lucie, Hometown Cable, channel 19, ATT Uverse, channel 99, and Lightstream Cable at St. James, channel 65.
You peeked.
I peeked. I got distracted because we have a caller. You ready?
I
Put
don't-
them both in.
I can't read the R's and the L's anymore. Hello, caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, who are we talking to?
Hi, my name is Matt Anderson.
Hi, Miss Hamilton, how are you?
I'm good.
Did you want these tickets to the Derby event?
Yes.
Awesome.
You're my favorite caller today.
I just heard it on the radio. I'm going to pick my grandson up from school.
Oh, very nice. So you know where the station's at?
No, where is it? I'm in Vero.
You're in Vero.
Yes.
All right. Are you familiar with St. Lucie County?
Yes, I'm familiar with St. Lucie County.
You can describe where.
We're on US 1 in Port St. Lucie, right across from the Social Security office.
Oh, okay. I know where that's at.
Okay, great. Well, we'll leave them here for you. You can come pick them up.
Okay.
Do you listen to the show often?
I just turned the radio on and put it on there.
Oh, well,
Lucky day for you.
lucky day for you. And every Tuesday at 11, turn that radio back on to the same station.
I got it on.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Have
All
a blessed day. Thank you.
You too.
There you go.
See, look at that.
3 calls might be a record.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
It's the shirt.
it is the shirt.
It is the shirt. Well, that's great. And I know we've talked about a lot of stuff, so let's kind of do a quick recap because we've got about 10 minutes left before the show's over. I know we talked about services that you guys provide at Daniel M., including respite care, after school, summer camp, parenting support. Am I missing anything?
Derby talk.
Yeah, Derby. No, but I just wanted to say that Children's Services Council has several target connect. What's the word I'm looking for? Areas that they are focusing on, and I just wanted to let you know we don't have babies. We'd like to be able to keep babies safe, but we don't have any babies. We have lots of big babies, but we don't have little babies. We do keep our children safe. We do keep them in the community. I know that's a real important piece. We keep our kids off drug and alcohol, and we keep them in an after-school support program. And so, and on top of that, you know, the mental health issues that our children deal with, it gives them a very positive place to stay and be safe.
And can you give your number out one more time? Because I want to make sure that any of our listeners or viewers, if you're a parent or grandparent, you have a child 3 to 12 that maybe is having some behavioral trouble in their current setting, maybe they've been kicked out of a child care center, or maybe, you know, the after-school program is telling you they're having trouble or difficulty, they need to call you.
Yeah. And one more thing I want to say is that our services are not expensive. We work on a sliding scale. They could be expensive if you look at what we provide, but we try to make it as less stressful for parents that are struggling today, to give them the opportunity to have some help. And we do it, you know, depends on your level of ability, but we do, you know, sliding scale.
And what is the number that they can get a hold of you at?
772-466-0051.
Now, we've got a couple of other announcements, but before we do that, I know you already gave a shout-out to E-Unit. Is there anybody else you guys want to give shout-out? I know you guys have such a hard-working and dedicated staff. Anybody else?
Of course. I want to give a shout out to Melissa, Dave, Mr. Bob, Corey, Frank, and all the kids back at Daniel M.
Are they listening? Did
Yes, social skills kids, get on it.
we have to say we've
Oh,
Frank has-
and Miss Etta. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Frank has been on the show before, and we always tease him because this is not his forte. He's not a fan of public speaking or doing engagements like this. So I think you might have taken his slot there.
I think so. That's
He
good.
owes you one. He owes you one. But thank you for coming on and sharing that information. A great organization,
your support.
and again, it's something that everybody needs to be aware of. And they can be aware of it by going to Talk Derby to Me
There you go.
on May 3rd, 3 to 7 p.m., or buying a green ribbon to display for Children's Mental Health Awareness Month in May. And it's only $2 for the ribbon. So there's plenty of ways for everybody to get involved.
Plenty of weight.
And it all starts with a simple phone call. If anybody's interested in tickets, can they call that same number as well?
Yes.
466-0051, either for services for yourself or, for your child or grandchild, and or to get involved in the community by simply purchasing a $2 ribbon or coming to the May 3rd event, Talk Derby to Me. Is that the name of the event, Talk Derby to Me?
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to have the song playing in the background? And then,
I'm working on it.
that's awesome. What a great organization, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Fun,
you.
too, right?
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Very fun.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thanks for all your support, Children's Services Council. We
Anytime.
appreciate it.
Do you want
We'll be voting in November.
We appreciate that.
Do you want to? I know we kind of talked about some other
Yeah.
stuff that's coming up.
We do have a couple of events that we'll be at that are coming up in the community. One we've talked about a lot. It is the 10th annual Stomp Out Child Abuse 5K Run and Walk that is being put on by Castle. Again, April is Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month, and this is one of their largest fundraisers to support the programs that they provide to St. Lucie County and the surrounding counties, actually. But you can join the Children's Services Council team. We would love to have you. If you just go to stompoutchildabuse.org, you can sign up right there on the website and say that you want to join Children's Services Council. That event is April 26th. It is Saturday morning, early
7:30 or 8.
7:30, I think the walk starts. But you can get all the information, again, on their website at stompoutchildabuse.org.
And I want to emphasize it's a 5K run
Or walk.
So, last year
That's important.
because it's early. You can walk a 5K and drink coffee at the same time.
You can.
Possible.
Or push a stroller, which is what I did last year.
Exactly.
We also have had Lori Finkel on the show in the last couple weeks, and she's actually coming back to give us a recap soon. But the Relay for Life St. Lucie West event is May 16th, which is a Friday night, and it will go through Saturday morning. I know they had the Fort Pierce event this past weekend, but the St. Lucie West event will be May 16th at Tradition Field.
I ran into Troy Ingersoll at the Reading Fest, and I said, "How you doing?" He's like, "I'm exhausted." I'm like, "Why are you
He did
exhausted?" He
relay.
did relay. He said he'd been up since 4 a.m. or something. But again, May 16th, again, where the Mets play, Tradition Field. I always say that because everybody thinks that there's a field in Tradition,
And there's
but
not.
it's where the Mets play in St. Lucie West.
That's how everyone knows it.
Yeah. And then do you want to mention the parenting classes?
Sure. There is still room in the parenting classes that actually start, is that next week? It is next Wednesday, April 23rd at Sungrove Montessori School. Again, that's going to be our Redirecting Children's Behavior class. It's 5 weeks every Wednesday, free classes. You can register on our website, which is cscslc.org. If you go to the homepage right on the right-hand side, you'll see the listing there for Sungrove's parenting class, and you can register right there.
And we're working on something. We got a couple more minutes. We're working on something, and I don't think we want to reveal it yet, right? To get the word out about what resources. Is it too early? Probably too early, right?
Maybe.
But I'm going to encourage, I know we did this at the top of the show, but amaze all your friends but by learning what resources are available. Because, whether it's at work and you're at a water cooler discussion and somebody's saying, hey, I need an after-school program, or my child is acting up and I don't know where to turn, if you will. Or if you know somebody who doesn't have health insurance, there are resources out there. Nothing's more frustrating for us when we go out and we go to community forums and somebody will say, oh, we need parenting support. And we're like, it exists in your home. Get connected with what resources exist because we're all in this together. If there's one thing that we've learned over this last year with the public community forums that Larry Lee Jr. has held is that we're all in this together. We're all connected. What your neighbor may not know, but if you connect with them, they're going to know it as well. So even if your children are all grown up, be that person that passes along information. That's the reason why we take to these airways for an hour, to entertain ourselves a little bit, have great conversation, but more importantly, to connect you, the listener, and the viewers to what resources are available to all families in St. Lucie County. So, again, get connected with the guide, or this is available on our website, right?
It is, and I would say, too, we do have the news that Sean alluded to that will be coming out soon, but I would find us on Facebook because that's typically the first place that we share information, and we share information there not only about what we are doing, but about events that are taking place in the community and all kinds of stuff that's happening related to children and families. So find us on Facebook and like our page because that is where you will get the most up-to-date information from us and about the programs in our community.
So we have come to the end of our hour-long commercial-free with multiple phone calls radio program. This is a weekly show, so tell me, when will we be back?
We will be back next week.
So, Maddie, the woman who won the tickets, she said she just turned on the radio program, right?
She better call next week too. Then I think
She needs to. I know she's still listening because she's wondering if we gave away her tickets or anything. Maddie, tune in next Tuesday at 11, as well as all of our viewers and listeners. We want to thank you for tuning in. Remember, it's our children, our community, and our future. We're all in this together. We'll see you next week.